Hi students, myself Anirban Bashurai Chaudhuri, Lab Assistant, Department of Chemistry, JS College of Engineering. You are watching the lab video. The paper name is Chemistry 1 Lab. This is for BTech first year students, and the paper code is CH191 and CH291.
Hello students. This is the introductory class of chemistry practical. So today I am going to discuss about the do's and don'ts, what you should do in the chemistry practical or chemistry lab and what you should not do. Also I will show you some glass apparatus which you have to handle in the chemistry. Okay. So first of all, whenever you enter in the lab, so you should wear a apron. Okay, so apron is important. So you should wear a lab coat. You should bring a hand gloves, pair of hand gloves, which is for your safety purpose. And also always you should wear cover shoes. So cover shoes are also very important. That is for your safety purpose. And for some experiment, safety goggles are also required. So you should bring that also. So lab coat is necessary, or apron, hand gloves is also necessary. Whenever it is required, you should wear it. And you should always wear cover shoes. Yeah, this is for your safety purpose. Now, you know, inside the chemistry lab there is so many glass apparatus are there, and also some chemicals are available which is harmful. So be careful, be cautious whenever you enter in the lab. Always follow the instruction. Okay, do not do by yourself if you are not instructed. So be careful about that. Then afterward, another important thing. So you should not use your mobile until and unless you instructed. You should not use your mobile inside the lab. Okay, and keep your bags in proper place and ready for your practical class. Clear? So that means you have to follow the instruction. So whenever you do the practical, don't gossip with each other. Those are the protocol of chemistry lab. Okay, so you have to maintain strictly, otherwise maybe some accidents are happening. So that's why I'm telling this. Clear? Now in the chemistry lab, lab manuals are there. So you should bring lab manual every day, and you should bring a lab copy. That means a rough copy. That means whatever rough works are there, you should make a rough on it. And after finishing the experiment, you have to prepare your lab journal or lab copy, and you have to submit it in proper days. Okay. And every day your data signature is also important. That means whatever you have done the practical, that data should be signed by us, okay, or the teachers. Clear? Now I am going to show you some glass apparatus which you have to handle in the chemistry lab, and which is the familiar apparatus in chemistry. Now first of all, the burette is important apparatus, you know, for titration purpose. Burette is used. Okay, so this is the burette. There is a stopcock, and you know how to handle the stopcock. If you are a right-handed, then you use your left hand to operate the stopcock like this. Okay, so it should be clamped in a burette clamp. Then you should use your left hand to operate the stopcock if you are a right-handed. And then if you are a left-handed, then use your right hand. Okay. Otherwise, maybe some leakage of the burette will be occur. And whenever you fill the burette with some solution, just check whether there is any air gap or not. There should not be any air gap. And up to that, you have to fill the solution. This is the burette. This is very important for titration. Now, another thing is pipette. You know pipette? So by which you have to pipette out or suck some solution. Okay, so this is the pipette. This one is called bulb pipette because the bulb portion is there at the middle. This is the bulb pipette. By that bulb pipette, you have to pipette out. You can pipette out a particular volume, whatever it is written. Say it is 25 ml pipette. There is a mark. So if you take up to that mark or pipette out up to that mark, that will be considered as 25 ml. Now there is another pipette is also available. This is called the graduated pipette. There is no bulb at the middle, but the graduations are made there. It is more advanced. Why? Because say it is 5 ml pipette. So we can prepare it out 5 ml by that pipette up to that mark. This is 5 ml. And also if there is a graduation set there, so that we can prepare it out also within 5 ml, say 1 ml, 2 ml or 3 ml should be maybe prepared out by that particular pipette. Okay, another advantage is there, I will tell it later. Then next one is conical flask, which is also very important, and you know that this is the shape of that cone shape, it's called conical flask or Erlenmeyer flask. Scientist Erlenmeyer invented this, that's why Erlenmeyer flask also written somewhere. This is actually conical flask. Okay, so this is 250 volumes are maybe different. 100 ml, 500 ml is also available. So for titration, whatever we are pipetting, that should be transferred into conical flask. So it is also important for titration. Clear? Now next one is beaker. You know beaker. You are familiar with that. This is glass beaker. This one is plastic beaker. So both are available in our lab. And also volume may be different. 100 ml beakers are also available, and you have to use that in some experiment. This one is measuring cylinder. I think you are familiar with that. In your previous class saw it. This is a 250 ml measuring cylinder. By measuring cylinder, we can transfer the volume also for some solution. This one is funnel. You know that. This is dropper. And this is very familiar with you. This is test tube. Okay. Now, while you are pipetting, the pipetting may be done by your mouth, or if you prepare out some harmful reagents like formaldehyde, phenol, or some strong acid, then you never prepare it out by mouth. Then sucker should be used. This is the sucker. Okay, by that sucker you can prepare it out also. Clear? Now, this is the reagent bottle, or it is called glass stoppered bottle. So the lid portion is called stoppered. This is called glass stoppered bottle. So this is transparent one, and also amber color bottles are available. So some reagents react with sunlight, like potassium permanganate solution, they should kept in the amber color bottle. Okay. So this is reagent bottle. This is 250 ml. The 500 ml, 1000 ml is also available. Now what is this? This is called wash bottle. Now washing and or rinsing is very important for chemistry, you know. So for washing or rinsing purpose, because inside it distilled waters are available. So by that we are rinsing the glass. This is wash bottle. Now this one is very important also. This is volumetric flask. Look at its shape. The shape of that, the upper part is very narrow. Okay, and this is volumetric flask of 250 ml. So there is a mark is there. So up to that mark, if you take the volume, then it is considered 250 ml. Okay. Now normally primary standard solutions are prepared and kept in the volumetric flask. Okay. So why it is kept and primary standard solutions are prepared in it? Because if we prepare a primary standard in it, look at the first of all, one stopper is also there. So you can say in the reagent bottle there is also a stopper. But look at its shape. The shape of that is very, very narrow. That means the rate of evaporation is much, much lesser. So that's why you prepare and keep the primary standard solution inside that volumetric flask. Another thing, the volumetric flask, burates and pipettes, those are the volumetric apparatus which will be calibrated more precision. Okay, that means whatever it is written 250 ml or 100 ml of in the burette, in the pipette or volumetric flask, they will be more accurate. Okay. Now, what is primary standard solution? I told you primary standard solutions are prepared and kept in the volumetric flask. In one word, what is primary standard solution? The primary standard solution are those solutions if we prepare a solution of a certain strength, the strength of the solution is not changed for time. Okay, it will remain same. The very common primary standard solutions are like oxalic acid solution. So if we prepared a N/10 oxalic acid solution, we can use it for a long time. But if we prepared NaOH solution of N/10 sodium hydroxide solution, what happened? Sodium hydroxide is hygroscopic in nature. It will absorb the moisture. Okay, that means the strength of the solution is changed for time being. This is called secondary standard solution. So always that secondary standard solution should be standardized by primary standard solution, by titration method. And after doing that titration, we have to use the normality equation. Then we can find out with the help of a primary standard solution, we have to find out the strength of secondary standard solution. Okay, so you should do that whenever you do the practical, you understand that. Okay, another important glass apparatus or apparatus, plastic is also there, desiccator. So desiccator, inside the desiccator, at the lower part where we kept their anhydrous calcium chloride, and the costly reagents, indicators are kept inside that desiccator. That means if calcium chloride is available, that means it will absorb the moisture. That means inside that desiccator, that is a moisture free zone, so there is a less contamination. So that's why the costly reagents are kept inside that desiccator. Desiccators are also important for chemistry. Now there are other also so many glass apparatus are available, like flat bottom flask, round bottom flask, many other things is there. But whatever experiment you have to perform in our lab, so you have to handle with that one. That's why I showing. Clear? Another important thing, whenever you pipetting something by mouth or by sucker, while you are transferring that solution after pipetting into conical flask or beaker anywhere, never blow the pipette. You never blow the pipette. Okay, the solution should be dropped automatically. Okay, why? And the last portion, the cone portion, the solution from the cone portion should not be taken. Because whatever it is written over that pipette, say 10 ml, 5 ml or 25 ml, whenever it is calibrated, excluding that part, it is calibrated at that particular volume. So if you blown out all the solution, that means that cone part, the solution which is in the cone part, if you take that also, then the volume will be excess of that. So that's why you never blow the pipette while you are pipetting. That is one important thing. You should remember that. Next thing, the rinsing one. I told you that rinsing is very important for chemistry. Whenever you start any experiment, before that all the apparatus should be rinsed properly. How you rinse it? What is the process of rinsing? First of all the glass apparatus should be rinsed with tap water, then by distilled water. Take little bit distilled water after washing with tap water. So distilled water should rinse with distilled water. Then you can use the apparatus. Otherwise errors are coming. So be careful. And in case of burette and pipette, that should be rinsed with the solution also. That means after rinsing with water, tap and distilled water, that burette and pipette should be rinsed with the solution also. Suppose we are taking any acids in the burette, so that burette should be rinsed with tap water, distilled water, then by that particular acid solution, then we can take that acid. Okay, after rinsing with acid solution, that little bit acid solution you should drop into the basin. Then you can pour the acid inside that burette. Okay, and for pipette, if you take anything by pipette, that pipette should be also rinsed with that particular solution also. Okay, otherwise errors are coming. And another important thing, always remember, as you rinse the burette and pipette for titration, burette and pipette should be rinsed with the solution, but you never rinse the conical flask or beaker with the solution. Why? So suppose we are rinsing with the conical flask, after rinsing with tap and distilled water, we have rinsing the conical flask with acid or some alkali or base. So what happened? Maybe some parts of that acid or base are available inside that conical flask. Then whenever we prepare out that exact volume of say 5 ml or 10 ml or 25 ml, then the volume after transferring the volume will be excess of that, because some particles maybe they are inside that conical flask, so errors are coming. So that's why that conical flask never ever be rinsed with the solution. So be careful and always remember that. This is the important thing for rinsing. Now rinsing is very, very important. So this is all about our introductory class. Again, I will remind you, for your safety purpose, always you should wear the apron whenever you enter in the lab, and you always you wear cover shoe. Okay, hand gloves should be there whenever it is required. Use it, and for some time, some experiment, safety goggles are also there or required. Clear? And strictly follow the instruction whenever you coming in the chemistry or doing the practical in the chemistry. So it's very famous sentence is there: you taste everything in the chemistry, but do not taste anything in the lab, chemistry lab. That means you have to taste everything, but don't taste anything. Okay, because so many harmful chemicals are available. So be careful about that. That means you have to follow the instruction, do the practical. You should bring one manual is also available in the laboratory. So you should bring manual every day, and you should bring one rough copy. Whatever you have done in the lab, you should work in the lab your rough copy. And after finishing the experiment, you have to submit the lab copy or lab journal properly as you instructed. We told you later. And every day while you are performing the experiment, if the data are there, then you have to sign it. That data should be signed by the teachers. Okay, so just remember that thing. So see you in the next class whenever we actually start our experiment. Just watch the video of that particular one. Then we will understand what you should actually do. Actually perform how to do the experiment. Now this is all about the introductory class. So I think all of you enjoyed it and understood what you should do and what you should not do, and I think you enjoy it. So thank you, students. See you in the next class. Okay.